Now, Mombasa, obviously, because of recent events in the last week, has come into sharp focus. John Alanamo will be taking a look at this town and just the efforts that are taking place in terms of fighting radicalization there. But speaking of radicalization and young children in the country, and particularly at the coast, 24 children were among those arrested last Sunday when the police raided a mosque in Majengo, Mombasa. KTN's investigations reporter Dennis Onsarigo spent a day with some of the children released from prison and also with their guardians. He now reports on why it will take so much more than policing to get to the root cause of the problem.
We arrive in Mombasa just in time for an extended court session. 24 minors are listening to their lawyer put their case across to a court, sitting way past its normal working hours. Bare feet, the children as young as 11 years old have spent 5 days in a cell. They are among 129 suspects arrested after a raid at the mosque in Majengo. 8 other people had died in an ugly confrontation with the police. Most of these children watched them die. One policeman also died. As I listen to the court prosecutor, an anxious mother gives her arrested son a gentle tap on the back and tells him, quote, "You are now a man," end quote. Moments later, the children are released. We met up with them at the Mombasa governor's office. The children having been released following talks between the governor and the national government. A religious problem gets a political solution. It is when you meet the children and listen to them that one realizes how far the interaction with their seniors has taken them. Salim, not his real name, tells me they were not being radicalized. He says they had been invited to lunch at Masjid Musa when police came storming in.
Mimi nilifika pale msikitini, tumealikwa chakula, tukaswali, tukapiga msosi. Tulivomaliza kula, ikatokezea hiyo fujo. Mimi nikasema, nilivosema ile nenda zangu nyumbani naona roli yaje. Yule Msomali akawaambia, "Huyu ni mmoja wao, huyu ni mmoja wao." Mimi nikamwambia hata siwajui yao. Mimi hata siko. Mimi akaanza kunipiga makofi sana.
Salim is not the only one of these children who believes the government only exists to victimize members of his faith and eliminate leaders he has come to identify with.
Si vitu mbaya, tunaomba Mungu. Mambo kuomba Mungu, si tuingilie kanisani. Tuamue uwe nyoteni, ni haki hiyo. Wameingia msikitini wakaanza kukanyaga misahafu. Misahafu ya Mungu, wanakanyaga na vyetu. Si makosa hiyo wanavyofanya serikali. Mimi wa Msomali nikimpata leo kichwa changu halali yake. Nitamchinja, ameniua, amenifanyisha makosa mimi.
9-year-old Nuru also spent 5 days in cells, thinks the same. Someone is out there to stop the spread of his religion.
Wajua roho zao mbaya, amezidi. Wana roho mbaya, hawapendi Uislamu.
Then I met Yasin, adorning a blood-stained shirt. The blood, he tells me, was that of a man he saw being shot and get killed. When I ask him why he does not get a change of clothes, the answer tells me the blood reminds him of the pain they are undergoing. His friends join in. The feeling is the same among the older generation here. 45 kilometers from Mombasa County, Salim Juma is mourning. His 23-year-old son was shot and killed. The son, a religious teacher, had traveled from Kwale to Mombasa for what he told the father was a convention.
Kufikia saa 9, huyu kijana alipigiwa na huyo ndugu yake Rama akiwa huko Mombasa, akimwelezea kuwa tuko hapa ndani ya msikiti, lakini msikiti umevamiwa na askari na wanatupa risasi hewani, lakini sisi tuko ndani ya msikiti.
Suleiman Ali's mother, Fatima Swale, could not hold back her tears. Her 17-year-old son was also killed during the raid. What happened inside the mosque has not fully been explained to the relatives. It is now emerging that 2 young men said to be from Uganda are still missing. The mosque somehow saw children as young as 10 years old walking for several kilometers for the convention alone and not in the company of their parents. Religious extremism has been ongoing in Mombasa and other parts of the country, raising serious questions. Where the intelligence and security networks have been, when children as young as 10 have been made to believe they're victims of their own belief.
Twashukuru gavana wetu. Nilikuwa nikilalamika nasema mtoto wangu leo tangu Jumapili ashikwe paka leo mtoto yuko ndani.
The fact that the burden of stemming the growing tide of radicalization has now seen a political intervention has left a dent in the religious ladder of Mombasa.
We have the ideology that it is not right for Kenya to invade Somalia. We have the ideology that it is wrong for any country, Western or otherwise, to invade Muslim countries and then label the ones being invaded as terrorists while they terrorize. And what happened here was terrorism to the letter.
That is the language the youngsters understand here. Experts are warning the government must first penetrate the minds of the young before handcuffing their hands. Clamping down on growing cases of radicalization, but what the youth here feel is victimization by the state, will no doubt be one of the biggest challenges for the government of the day. The government feels it is an idea that should be stopped. The youth, on the other hand, feel it's an idea whose time has already come. Dennis Onsarigo, KTN, in the county of Mombasa.